How's everybody? This is D running this one with a quick follow-up to my previous video talking about the new Sora EX medal. EX. So, it's been, what, a couple hours since I just posted that video. I've had some more time to sit down and talk with a few people about it, watch a few more YouTubers' videos about it, and get some more information. And it's still hit or miss. Things on it are mainly negative about it for the most part in terms of the format it's being released in. So, one of the things that people are upset about too, and this is the main one too, isn't so much again that's behind the VIP wall exactly, but it's how long it is. Once per week, 7 weeks. It's going to take us 7 weeks to gilt this medal, or really, yeah, 6 weeks to gilt it, 7 weeks to reroll. Oops, turn it down real quick. Okay, sorry about that. So, 7 weeks to actually gilt this thing fully. And in that time, we can get quite a few medals that are going to potentially outclass this one. Some people are saying this medal is already outclassed, actually, EX and such, and that, you know, it's already outclassed. Sort of, kind of yes, sort of, kind of no. This is one of the things that I really thought about that in terms, and this is what I'm really focusing on right now for this medal. Yes, the timeline we have to wait in order to actually get gilt and everything, get traits on it, is long. It's 7 weeks. That's over a month and a half, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean, if anything else fails, I would really suggest Cena just needs to release this like it would a regular VIP pack, and we'll do the quest, and then we'll get 4 of the medal, 3 of the medal, 4 and 3. Yeah, like 4 of the medal for the most part. Like just like we would any other VIP medal going through it. That would actually make a lot more sense than making us wait, again, about a month and a half in order to actually fully gilt it, re-roll it, and then get traits on it. But here's one thing that I say to other people too. And one of the biggest things about this one too, aside from how long it's going to take you to actually do this, that 7-week time period, it's going to be that it's outclassed. What is outclassed by? Actual EX. Actual EX. Actual EX. This isn't a real EX medal. Okay. Let's talk about those two things. First, we'll start about it. It's not an EX medal. Technically accurate. It is not really. It doesn't deserve the EX medal there. The EX medals are artwork-induced medals as well. They come with artwork in them and everything. This one does not. This one is the speed upright version of Key Art 8. And I didn't realize that earlier because I actually haven't pulled a Key Art 8, so I forgot what it did. So I didn't even think about that in the previous video. But Key Art 8 does the exact same thing. Exact same thing as this medal right here. The only difference is I think it's off by like a 0.12 on its multiplier, so it's a little bit weaker. I think it has like a 0.96, I want to say, or something like that on this one. 0.94 as its max multiplier with no dots filled on it. So this was only a little bit stronger than it. Okay, so there's that. So keep that in mind. That is a bit misleading when all they really did was they slapped the EX on it because everybody's going gaga over the EX medals because they're so good, they're worth it. And this is a way to entice people to spend money on it without really focusing on the medal. So, bad form Cena there. That was being misleading because even I didn't really think of that until Smelly Octopus pointed out in his video, and I was like, oh, that's actually very true. And then he pulled up Tier 8, and I was like, aha, that's very true. That's exactly it right there. Okay, gotcha. That's disappointing to see that they're doing that. They're kind of resorting to that tactic. That's not good. But here's what I'm focusing on right now, and this is something that I think will actually end up being the determining factor on a lot of people if they're actually going to go through and do the VIP purchases and everything and go through with it all. And that's this: traits. Traits are the most important thing in this game. They are the most groundbreaking change-up in this game. They changed everything about this game. It is now revolving around traits. Gilt is no longer the most important thing. That's just the way it is. You can get a 5-orbed medal, and if you have 2 traits on it, like aerial and ground on it, it can do as much damage as a gilted version of it with no traits. And that is insane. That's how it works now. Traits, 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 traits. RNG on top of RNG. Which isn't fun, but it is what it is in that regard, unfortunately. The thing about this guy is, and I said this earlier, is he's a guaranteed gilt, and he's guaranteed trait rolls. You're guaranteed 7 trait rolls in this guy. You're guaranteed the 5 there, 1 for gilt, and then 1 for reroll opportunity. You have a chance to get 7 traits. And with the right traits, this metal can outperform Axle EX. Because let's be honest, unless you're like a top 10 whale in this game, you were not lucky enough to pull 2 axles in a single pull. Most of us, myself included, only managed to get 1 axle when we were pulling for it. Just 1 axle, and then we're using our Mickey and brooms to get it up to gilt. So that is a Axle EX medal that's amazing, don't be wrong. And Axle will always be, well, until Sephiroth anyway, Axle, until Sephiroth EX comes out, will indeed be the high score king. Nothing will beat out Axle EX for high score performance until Sephiroth EX comes out. So consider that right there in the first place. This medal, though, has the utility function behind it beyond that. It is 5 hits, so not very useful for high score challenges. But with the right traits, this medal can outdo Axle EX in damage and utility. For instance, if you get, again, double cast. If you get double cast on this medal, it gives you more speed buff and more speed debuff on your enemies than Axle EX does. If you get double cast and like ground or aerial, you are set. I mean, you are in a really, really good way. For this particular one, I would think that I probably want ground on it more than likely, because they're more magic. They're more annoying magic ground enemies than there are air ones. The only air ones that are aggravating are, of course, the copter fleets and certain possessor clouds that I can really think of off the top of my head that are actually air-based magic ones. A few high wizards, but high wizards have such low defense that I'm not really too worried about them, up to a point. More ground ones, though, are more aggravating, I think. But either way, aerial or ground defense in this one, and double cast, you'll be set. You'll be in a really, really good way. If you don't get double cast in this one, but you do manage to end up getting aerial and ground defense on it, you're going to be set in a really, really good way. And it will do as much, if not a little bit more damage than Axle EX without traits. So I kind of wanted to release this video to talk about that, just to say that out there, you know, to give some newer perspective on that one. Now that I've had time to talk with other people about it and discuss it a bit more. If you're a player who buys VIP every week, this isn't really going to impact you aside from the weight. The weight really sucks. Again, Smelly Octopus is right. Other players who mentioned are right too. The wait time for people, even people who buy VIP every week like I do, the wait time is ridiculous. 7 weeks, a month and a half before I can actually get it gilted and traded as much as I can. And then even with the traits, I still have to roll RNG. I still have to play the horror wheel show that is RNG and hope that I get the right traits. Because if I do all that and I end up getting, like, you know, God forbid, I end up getting Savage Resistance traits through all those rerolls, I will probably flip my shit if that happens. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself horribly in saying that, but that'd be bad. So you are going to play the RNG game as well when you do the traits. You have to question yourself, is it, again, you know your finances, you know your means. Are you able to do this? If you're able to do this, it's going to be worth it for you. You know, you're going to get the extra 3,000 jewels confirmed. Hopefully we'll get the extra 1,400 jewels as well, like they do with other VIP medal releases, we hope. So again, we'll see what happens from tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a big day for this one to see what we actually get. But that is it, guys. I mean, just consider that one. That is actually really, in all honesty, for me in this particular case. If it weren't for the fact that I buy VIP every week anyway, the one thing that would sway me on this one would be the chance to roll 7 traits on this guy. You have 7 chances to roll traits individually, and on the whole, I've had fairly good luck rolling VIP traits on my medals. So I'm going to hope that continues on with this one myself when I do this one, and that's something you guys need to consider when you're doing if you guys are going to do VIP or not for this medal. You know, that's what's going to be. So I just want to share that with you guys, get that fresh viewpoint out there and spoken to you guys as well. I mentioned it in a few comments in the other video, but here's a video of me actually voicing that, getting a little more in depth with it, because I think it's needed. So again, let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Best of luck with whatever you decide to do in terms of this medal. And if you guys do decide it, best of luck on your trait rolls. And I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow for the updates. Have a great night.